Greetings, my friends, and welcome to a journey into the depths of ancient mythology. Did you know that the Bible finds some of its roots in a world of tempestuous gods and epic battles? We are about to explore Canaanite mythology, a rich tapestry of ancient tales. Our journey takes us back millennia to the land of Canaan. This land, now known as the Levant, was home to a vibrant civilization. The Canaanites were storytellers, poets, and mythmakers. Their myths offer us a glimpse into their beliefs and understanding of the cosmos. So settle in, dear viewers, and prepare to be captivated as we unearth the secrets of Canaanite mythology. Imagine, if you will, a time when the world was young and humanity looked to the heavens for answers. The Canaanites, living in a world both beautiful and dangerous, sought to understand the forces that shaped their lives. Their mythology, a vibrant tapestry of gods, monsters, and magic, provided them with explanations for the natural world, the human condition, and the mysteries of life and death. These myths weren't confined to dusty scrolls or whispered incantations. They were living stories, performed in grand festivals, woven into the fabric of daily life. Imagine the sights and sounds of these ancient celebrations, the flickering light of torches, the rhythmic chanting of priests, the air thick with incense and anticipation. Through their myths, the Canaanites grappled with timeless questions. What is the nature of good and evil? What happens after we die? What is our place in the grand order of the cosmos? These are questions that continue to fascinate and haunt us today. So, dear viewers, come prepared to encounter gods of thunder and fertility, goddesses of love and war, and creatures of myth and legend. The land of Canaan, nestled at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, was a melting pot of cultures. Influences from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and beyond swirled and mingled, giving rise to a unique and vibrant mythology. This fertile ground birthed stories that would echo through the ages, influencing not only the Hebrew Bible, but also Greek mythology, and even elements of Roman religion. Think of the Canaanite pantheon as a grand family drama, filled with love, betrayal, ambition, and revenge. At the head of this divine family sat El, the father god, a figure of immense power and wisdom. But El, like any good patriarch, had his share of rivals and rebellious offspring. Prepare to meet Baal, the storm god, a deity of thunderous power and unrestrained passion. We'll encounter Anat, the fierce warrior goddess, as comfortable on the battlefield as she was in the heavens. And we'll delve into the mysteries of Asherah, the mother goddess, a figure of fertility and abundance. Our journey will uncover the stories of these gods and many more as we explore the beliefs and practices of this ancient civilization. So fasten your seatbelts, dear viewers, as we embark on a thrilling adventure through the heart of Canaanite mythology. Our journey into Canaanite mythology begins with El, the Grand Patriarch of the gods. Picture a figure of immense age and wisdom, his beard flowing like a silver waterfall. El was the creator deity, the father of the gods. He resided on Mount Zaphon, a mythical peak shrouded in clouds. El was a deity of quiet power, respected by all. Think of him as a wise old king dispensing justice. But El, despite his power, was not without vulnerabilities. His sons often vied for power, clashing like thunderclouds, and his daughters, each with unique power, could be both a comfort and a force. No figure looms larger in Canaanite mythology than Baal, the storm god. Imagine, if you will, a deity of raw power and untamed energy, his voice a rumble of thunder, his laughter the crackle of lightning. Baal was the god of storms, rain, and fertility, his presence both feared and revered.
I am the lifeblood of the land, my rains nourishing the crops and ensuring a bountiful harvest.
But Baal was also a god of passion and impulsiveness, his emotions as volatile as the storms he commanded. He was a fierce warrior, forever battling the forces of chaos and destruction. His battles with Yam, the sea god, were the stuff of legends, titanic clashes that shook the very foundations of the earth.
My love life was no less tumultuous. My passionate affair with Anat, the warrior goddess, was a whirlwind of desire, jealousy, and ultimately tragedy. And my rivalry with Mot, the god of death, would have profound consequences for the entire pantheon.
Our journey through the Canaanite pantheon now brings us to Anat, the warrior goddess. Picture a deity of unparalleled beauty and ferocity, her eyes blazing with a warrior's fire, her laughter as sharp as the edge of her sword. Anat was the protector of the gods, a fierce defender of her people, and a force to be reckoned with on any battlefield.
Don't let my beauty fool you, dear viewers. I am as comfortable wielding a sword as I am dancing in the heavens.
She was a skilled archer, a master of hand-to-hand combat, and her thirst for battle was legendary. Woe betide any who dared to cross her or threaten those under her protection.
But I am more than just a warrior goddess. I am also a goddess of love and fertility, my passionate nature extending to both the battlefield and the bedroom. My love affair with Baal was the stuff of legends, a tempestuous union of two powerful deities.
Our exploration of the Canaanite pantheon wouldn't be complete without paying homage to Asherah, the mother goddess. Imagine, if you will, a deity of immense grace and compassion, her embrace as warm and nurturing as the earth itself. Asherah was the goddess of fertility, motherhood, and abundance. Her presence felt in the rustling of leaves, the blossoming of flowers, and the ripening of fruit.
I am revered as the consort of El, the mother of the gods and the queen of heaven. I am a goddess of life in all its forms, from the smallest seed to the tallest tree.
Her symbol, a stylized tree, represented the interconnectedness of all living things and the life-giving power of the feminine divine.
But I am more than just a benevolent mother figure. I am a powerful deity in my own right, capable of both fierce love and righteous anger. I am a protector of women and children, a defender of the natural world, and my presence is a source of comfort and strength to all who seek me out.
But what fun are gods if there exists no beast to challenge their reign? So, dear viewers, prepare yourselves, for we are venturing into the shadowy realm of Canaanite mythical beasts. Few were as awe-inspiring and terrifying as Leviathan. Imagine a creature of immense size, its scales shimmering like 1,000 sunsets, its roar a symphony of destruction. Leviathan, the serpent of the sea, was the embodiment of primordial chaos, a force of nature so powerful it could swallow ships whole. But Leviathan wasn't the only denizen of the deep that haunted the Canaanite imagination. Prepare yourselves, dear viewers, to meet Yam, the fearsome god of the sea. Picture, if you will, a deity of immense power, his eyes as cold and unforgiving as the ocean depths, his voice a low rumble that could shake the very foundations of the earth. Yam ruled over the seas and all their creatures, his domain a realm of both beauty and terror. He was a force to be reckoned with, a god of unpredictable moods, capable of unleashing storms that could shatter ships and drown entire cities. The Canaanites believed that Yam was a constant threat to the order of the cosmos. His desire for power knew no bounds, and he constantly sought to expand his domain, even challenging the authority of El, the king of the gods. It was said that Yam's power was immense, and his presence could be felt in the heart of a volcano capable of unleashing unimaginable destruction. So, as we continue our exploration of Canaanite mythology, remember that the sea wasn't just a source of food and trade. It was a realm of mystery and danger, ruled over by a god as powerful and unpredictable as the ocean itself. But fear not, dear viewers, for even in the face of such monstrous foes, the Canaanites believed in the power of their gods to protect them, and no god was more renowned for his heroic deeds than Baal, the storm god.
Imagine, if you will, a deity of unparalleled strength and courage. My laughter the crackle of lightning, my wrath as fierce as a hurricane. I wasn't content to simply rule over the storms. I actively battled the forces of chaos that threatened the world.
His confrontations with Yam, the sea god, were legendary, titanic clashes that shook the heavens and sent tidal waves crashing against the shores.
But I, Baal, armed with my magical weapons, fought with the fury of 1,000 storms, ultimately subduing the raging sea god and restoring order to the cosmos.
But Baal's heroism wasn't limited to battling sea monsters. He was also credited with bringing rain to the parched land, ensuring bountiful harvests and protecting the Canaanite people from famine and drought. He was a god of action, a champion of the people, and his stories were a source of both inspiration and comfort. But Baal's battle with Yam was not the final chapter of his story. His final chapters were in the Hebrew Bible. The Israelites were a tribe of Canaanites, and so they were profoundly shaped by the myths and legends of the land. One of the most striking parallels is the shared motif of creation from chaos. In Genesis, the creation story bears remarkable similarities to the Canaanite creation myth, where order emerges from chaos. As we mentioned, Baal battled Yam to establish order, but what we didn't discuss is the symbolic messaging behind their battle. In the context of this battle, Yam is seen as a symbol of chaos, also represented by primordial waters. By defeating Yam, Baal vanquishes chaos and subdues the chaotic waters, establishing order and allowing the world to be created. To readers of the Bible, this story will sound very familiar. Think of how the biblical God created the universe. In the beginning, the earth was a formless void covered by primal waters, until God subdued the chaotic ocean, establishing order. The primal waters of the Bible, which represented chaos, are derived from Yam. With God playing a similar role to that of Baal, we can even take it a step further and cite the Mesopotamian influence on the book of Genesis. As the Canaanite creation story is almost identical to that of the Mesopotamians. In Mesopotamian myth, the god Marduk defeated Tiamat, another primordial sea dragon of chaos, before establishing order. Now what about God himself? Who is the God of Israel? El, chief god of Canaan, had many children. There was his son Baal. But Baal had a little rivalry with one of his siblings named Yahweh, who to Christians is known as Jehovah and to Muslims as Allah. Now, each Canaanite tribe had their own patron deity. For Israel, theirs was Yahweh, who at the time was a minor storm god overshadowed by his brother Baal. At first, Israelites believed in the entire pantheon of Canaanite gods, as well as Egyptian and Mesopotamian deities. Yes, you heard right. Judaism, the world's oldest monotheistic religion, originally started as a polytheistic religion. Over time, Yahwism, the early form of Judaism, would transition from polytheism to monolatry, meaning they believed in many gods but only worshipped one, Yahweh. What I find fascinating is that the chief god, El, was actually merged with his son Yahweh. As in the Hebrew language, the word for God is Elohim, which is often shortened as El. We see this suffix in many biblical Hebrew names: Ariel, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and so many more, even Israel. And each time El translates to God. So during some point in the transition from polytheistic Yahwism to monotheistic Judaism, father and son became one, making El and Yahweh one God instead of two. If you think the Canaanite gods went the way of the dodo by the time of the Bible, you would be mistaken. As biblical scripture is ripe with mention of these dark deities, for example in the books of Leviticus and Kings, worship of Molech entailed the practice of passing children through fire as form of sacrifice, something heavily condemned by the Bible. The sea god Dagon, worshipped by the Philistines, features prominently in the story of Samson, where he destroys Dagon's temple by pushing apart its pillars. Additionally, the Ark of the Covenant itself is placed in the Temple of Dagon, causing the statue of Dagon to fall and break, symbolizing the superior power of Yahweh over Dagon. Other deities such as Asherah, Chemosh, and Astarte are all mentioned and condemned across the Bible. But the most prominent feature from the Canaanite pantheon in the Bible, aside from Yahweh, is of course Baal. One of the most dramatic confrontations involving Baal is found in the Book of Kings, where the prophet Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal to a showdown on Mount Carmel. Standing alone against 450 prophets of Baal, Elijah declares that the God of Israel, Yahweh, is the true God. He proposes a test, Both he and the prophets of Baal will prepare a sacrifice, but neither will set fire to it. Instead, they will call upon their respective gods to ignite the offering. And what do you know? Elijah's offering was lit ablaze in contrast to the offerings to Baal. Worship of Baal was so frowned upon by the Bible that in the book of Joshua, the Israelites waged an entire holy war with the neighboring tribes who worshipped the goat-headed deity. Other aspects from Canaanite myth can be found in the Hebrew texts, such as the Leviathan and the Israelites' constant habit of worshipping idols at the behest of Yahweh. And now, dear viewers, our journey takes us on a fascinating trajectory, tracing the enduring ripples of Canaanite mythology as they flow into the very heart of Christianity. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of belief systems, the way ancient stories can echo through time, influencing the development of new faiths, even as they evolve and transform. Remember, Christianity didn't emerge in a vacuum. It sprang from the rich soil of Jewish tradition, inheriting not only the Hebrew Bible but also the cultural memory, the theological debates, and yes, even the lingering echoes of Canaanite mythology that had shaped Israelite beliefs for centuries. The early Christians, steeped in the scriptures, would have been familiar with the stories of Baal, Asherah, Leviathan, and the other figures who populated the Canaanite pantheon. These weren't just abstract myths to them. They were part of their religious heritage, woven into the fabric of their understanding of the divine and the struggle between good and evil. So, as we delve into the world of early Christianity, keep in mind this rich tapestry of influence, this layering of beliefs and stories that would shape the development of Christian theology, imagery, and even its understanding of the cosmic battle between good and evil. One of the most intriguing aspects of Canaanite influence on Christianity lies in the way echoes of ancient deities, once worshipped as gods, were repurposed and recast within the framework of Christian demonology. This wasn't merely a case of cultural appropriation. It reflects a deeper theological shift, a reimagining of the ancient world through the lens of monotheism. With the rise of Christianity, the old gods didn't simply vanish, they were demoted, transformed from powerful deities into malevolent entities, demons who tempted humanity and opposed the one true God. This process of demonization, while stripping these figures of their former glory, also preserved their stories, their characteristics, even their names, albeit in a new, more sinister light. Baal, the storm god, once worshipped for his life-giving rains, now found himself associated with storms of a different kind, the tempests of temptation, the destructive power of sin. Anat, the fierce warrior goddess once revered for her protective might, now became associated with violence, chaos, and the forces of darkness. This transformation, while seemingly dramatic, reflects a common thread in the evolution of religious beliefs. As new faiths emerge, they often grapple with the existing religious landscape, adapting, reinterpreting, and sometimes demonizing the deities and beliefs of those who came before. Perhaps the most striking example of this demonization process, dear viewers, is the figure of Beelzebub, a prominent demon in Christian tradition whose very name betrays his Canaanite origins. Beelzebub, often depicted as a high-ranking demon, a lord of flies, a prince of hell, derives his name from the Canaanite deity Baalzebub, whose name translates roughly to Lord of the Flies. Now, in Canaanite religion, Baalzebub wasn't a malevolent entity. He was associated with healing, with protection from pestilence, even with oracles and divination. But as the Israelites struggled to establish Yahweh's supremacy, Baalzebub, like other Canaanite deities, became a target of condemnation, his name invoked as a symbol of idolatry and false worship. This negative association, this demonization of Baalzebub continued into the Christian era. His name transformed from a deity associated with healing and protection into a moniker for the devil himself. And so, my friends, we come to the end of our journey, a journey from the sun-drenched plains of ancient Canaan to the heart of the Bible. We've encountered tempestuous gods, battled fearsome beasts, and unearthed hidden connections between worlds of belief. But what, you might ask, is the relevance of all this today? The answer lies in the enduring power of myth itself. Myths aren't just tales, they reflect the human soul, our fears, aspirations, and our quest to understand the world. The Canaanites, like all cultures, used myth to grapple with life's big questions. Their answers, enshrined in myths, may seem fantastical today, but they resonate across time. So, as we emerge from this exploration, let us remember these ancient stories. Hold up a mirror to our humanity, reminding us of the enduring power of belief and the timeless search for meaning.